To upgrade or not to upgrade? That is the question. By now, I think smartphone makers have made peace with the fact that people don't upgrade every year. But then Samsung had a very aggressive way to sweeten the pot. Up until last year, if you traded in your old Z Flip in good condition, you only had to pay like $100 to upgrade. That alone made it irresistible for me to do so for the last 3 generations, but this year, things got complicated. On one corner, we have the Galaxy Z Flip 6, what Samsung calls as the power of Galaxy AI right in your pocket, and on the other, we have last year's Galaxy Z Flip 5. Probably the best change to this lineup in a bit, but back when AI wasn't really a thing. Right now, you're looking to around $460 for a trade-in, which truly begs if you should go ahead or just wait it out. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and it's time for Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 versus Galaxy Z Flip 5. This year, things got rather interesting with Samsung's approach to the Z Flip in sales because the steady drop in price saw pretty much a halt for 3 generations, and now for the first time ever, it actually got $100 more expensive. It really begs to wonder if you're really getting that much more of a phone with the changes, and, visually, it would be easy to assume that this is pretty much a facelift. The Z Flip 6 is now flat all around, which sure gives it a more elegant and minimalistic look when compared to last year, but this is the one phone where I actually don't favor the design change. See, part of what makes having a flip foldable cool is to be able to easily open it and close it with one hand, and let's just say the sharp borders leave no place to easily dig for an opening. In everything else, the dimensions are exactly the same. Both phones even share the exact same weight, same armor aluminum, and same Gorilla Glass Victus 2. I do love the matte rails on the new model, at least visually, but so far, my design points go to the Z Flip 5, but if we're honest, I'm just really nitpicking. Once you look into these displays, things flip completely over to the new phone and will remain that way for a bit. Surely they share mostly the same specs and resolution and screen size on the outside, but the new phone goes up to 1600 nits at peak, which is very welcomed. Samsung has then added ways to stack more widgets on the cover screen along with some AI features that will let you adapt the visuals to the weather and location. That said, I won't call that a benefit because it'll most likely reach the older flips soon, but more on that soon. Now, once you flip them open, the insides do have welcome changes that aren't easy to see. Each device sports the same 6.7-inch AMOLED 2X with all the exact same specs. What changes is that the newer display has added layers of protection to increase durability, in addition to making it less prone to the crease, even if, sure, it's still here since you really can't defy physics. The newer panel is also brighter, up to 2600 nits at peak, though colors and quality are all just as good, though they both still struggle with polarized sunglasses, even today.
Same starting price, and sure, some better looking band options for those who want to go minimal. What's important is the new 3nm Exynos W1000 chip powering the show.
And yeah, I can't say there's much of a difference in speaker performance either. Both phones do pretty much the same good job.
Of that. Fine, let's talk about the foldables, and sure, I wouldn't blame you for thinking they look.
But then internals are another area where things don't technically sound like much, but they are important. On one end, sure, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy is faster, has a more powerful GPU, and is better fit for AI than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, but if we're honest, not by much. Even their architecture is the same. What you should care about is that the new Flip has a lot more RAM at 12 gigs versus 8, and that it's the first Galaxy Z Flip with a vapor chamber cooling system for sustained loads. It also has a larger battery along with a dust rating, not just water resistance at IP54. Really, the only thing these phones share is connectivity and storage options. In everything else, the Flip 6 is a much better phone. Now, software is then one of the spots where I can't really call out a winner. I mean, sure, the Z Flip 6 has all the enhancements to the outer screen that I mentioned and the latest version of One UI. Thing is, these are mostly some of the new AI features that'll allow you to use multiple screens for translation in addition to other really cool tricks, but if history serves as a benchmark, I have the feeling that it's only a matter of time before they reach the Z Flip 5. Samsung did an incredible job at bringing the S24 benefits to the phone just weeks later, but there is a catch. Remember that for generative AI tools to work on device, RAM is key, and last year's phone was pretty limited in that department. This is another reason where the Z Flip 6 becomes a must-buy. Now, in everything else, this remains my favorite version of Android, with a denser grid of icons, the side menus for quick multitasking, and more. Now, over the year that I used the Z Flip 5, it was a good phone in the basics. Great performance overall, and very good endurance for its power pack. Still, this is another area where I feel the Z Flip 6 is better. I do notice improvements in endurance in addition to heat management, and yes, I can tell how it performs certain tasks quicker. I wouldn't say it's any better in connectivity or phone calls, but it does in absolutely everything else. Now, the last determining factor is definitely the cameras, and here again, the Z Flip 6 has some good improvements. Spec-wise, I wouldn't call the ultra-wide anything that changed, but the primary on the new phone finally got a decent 50-megapixel camera. And sure, I do wish Samsung gave an explicit 2x button for the official digital crop, but testing actually proved the benefits are here. During the day, it's usually hard to tell a difference, but boy, do I see better colors out of the Z Flip 6, particularly when you mix reds or yellows. There's just a lot more depth and character to the shot that look a tad more washed out on the Z Flip 5, along with some benefits in dynamic range. Sadly, I can't really tell there are major benefits to the 2X from the new phone, but you will be able to tell if you punch in further, and results from the ultra-wide are pretty similar. I also don't see much of a difference in results when it comes to low light, but what I can tell you is that the Z Flip 6 takes way less time to take the shot than the Z Flip 5. Particularly from the ultra-wide, the Flip 5 can take forever in challenging conditions, while the new phone just breezes, so the results are pretty comparable as each phone takes the time it needs. Now, funny, being able to take selfies and portraits from the primary is a benefit from both phones, but oddly, I think the results from the internal selfie camera are far better in how they handle skin tones and dynamic range. Could just be that the internal camera is better tuned for the task. That said, when it comes to video, both phones do a similar job, which means not great. It's decent, but not my favorite in bitrate or the over-sharpening or the warping. Same thing with the selfie camera on both. The rolling shutter is just a lot. Seriously, it's pointless for you to have some sort of a camcorder mode if the results just aren't worth for the price tag on both devices. To conclude, let's just say this comparison ended up being worth my time. Here I was thinking that the changes from one year to the next were not going to be much, but it turns out that they were. The new Z Flip 6 is better built, it's also more powerful, which in turn means better equipped for AI, sustained loads that include gaming, and you could sort of say better in photography. Sadly, the trade-in deals are not what they were before, but it's still far better than what other companies offer, or to have to pay full price. If it were my money, I would totally do the upgrade, and this is one of those cases where I do feel that the new AI features make this upgrade worth it for you as well, but that's also depending on if you can find a good deal. Otherwise, sure, you might miss out on some on-device benefits, but it's not like if we don't live online all the time. Bottom line, I would grab the Galaxy Z Flip 6. Even if you were to find the Z Flip 5 at a good discount right now, I think grabbing the new phone is a better investment over time. Let us know if you agree with our assessment in the comments down below, and while you're at it, follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on my personal handles to see me pick the new phone for the first time in a bit. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.